Right,
Maybe we should go and join Paddy's online maths class.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why Paddy's not with us right now. He's obviously not going to school at the moment because of COVID, so he's upstairs on an online class.
I walked in on his online class.
Yeah, he was
so embarrassed.
What class was it?
I don't know. He told me it was. I don't know what it was, but he has the same maths teacher that I had when we were at school. So I'm going to go in at the end of the day. Did you say hello? No. It's not till this afternoon. I've managed to retrieve his timetable. Joining his... I said to him, you should just let me sit down and wait until people notice. It's not you.
Well, it might be embarrassing because you won't be able to do the maths anymore.
Well, I don't think he can
anymore.
either,
I could never do it.
Right then, so we're talking about the Brothers Trust. Guys, quick question. Do you know when... I suppose we had the idea to do the Brothers Trust. The date.
The date. Well, I know our first event was May 1st, 2016.
And what time did it start? And what was the time it started?
It was 12:24.
You then... Let me think about that date.
And
it was not May 1st, I don't think. It was...
It was.
Hang on.
Oh, I've got it here in my notes.
Oh no, May 1st.
May 1st, 2016.
And that was Civil War, wasn't it?
Screening for Civil War.
And
at the Olympic Theatre in Barnes. And
brilliant.
I guess that was kind of where the idea came from. That was like the event.
Were the Brothers Trust
No.
That was before the Brothers Trust, but that was when we decided that it was possible to set up a foundation, and we thought there's something here, and we should pursue this idea. And Dad and I did a Q&A afterwards. And it's like I've never spoken to you
like this. You're talking like this. They must see my face.
But yes, that was that was a long time ago, wasn't it? It's 2016 seems like an age ago.
Yeah, and what? We're in 2021 now, so
what? 5.5. No, it's not.
Talking about maths.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to Paddy's maths class. That's 4.5 years ago.
The first question is, the Brothers Trust was founded in 2016. How long has it been going for?
Tricky numbers. The heights of these numbers.
But our first grant we gave out after our first actual Brothers Trust event was on the 1st of August 2017.
Wow.
And what was the first...
What was that grant? Do you know?
It would have been...
That would have been
to lunch bowl.
That was to lunch bowl.
It would have been to lunch bowl.
We did give money for the first event, which wasn't under the charities heading.
Right. Yeah, because I remember we were trying to... it's so funny, now we have the name. How long it took us to get the name.
Okay, because otherwise
it's going to be really difficult to recreate that joke now, naturally.
Yeah.
What joke?
The joke I just told.
Right. No, well, I don't remember when the name came up or who came up with the name.
It was my idea.
But I do remember. Do you remember when we went for that dog walk? It was the last walk, I think, before.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, before I left for Spider-Man 1.
Yes.
And remember we
When
made
we
that
took the
video
picture?
where I threw that tennis ball at Dad's head.
And it was winter as well.
And it
so
was
you
cold.
know it hurt.
It was cold. And that's where we took that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we've taken a similar one, which is now up on
We've posted
Instagram.
it, yeah.
5 years later.
5 years.
5.5. 5.5. Wow.
But no, we are the Brothers Trust, but I'd like to know what other names we were flirting with to name the trusts.
Harry's Trust.
Harry's Trust.
Harry Trust.
I don't really remember. In Harry we trust.
Yeah.
But no, it's such a... Mum came up with the name, I think. And then it was one of those things where Mum said the Brothers Trust and everyone was kind of like, yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, it's good. Right, so we were going to talk about our favourite, or not our favourite charities, but maybe the charity you've had the most to do with.
Yeah.
So, Sam, you obviously started the Brothers Trust podcast by interviewing Phoebe, who is a recipient of the charity Momentum, which is one of the first charities that we started supporting. Obviously, a charity started in Kingston Hospital. We were all born in Kingston Hospital, so it makes sense for us to support them. What did you learn about Momentum and about Phoebe's experience with Momentum, and why do you think Momentum is a charity that we should continue to support?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great chat with Phoebe, and I think with Momentum, they work with the family. So obviously Phoebe, in this case, in the podcast case, Phoebe has been diagnosed with cancer, but they treat the whole family. So the parents are put in touch with other families going through similar things, so they can talk about things, and they send them on holidays, and they they just make the whole process a lot easier, and they
I
really
think
do
as well,
amazing work.
you also have to take into account that when a poor child goes through one of these illnesses, it's not just them going through it. The whole family go through it with them. And I think what Momentum do so well is they help the family deal, as well as the child, with these horrendous circumstances.
Yeah, because I was on their website prepping for the interview, and they have an amazing video of a father who lost his child through cancer, and they put him in touch with someone with another dad who lost their child 3 years ago. So he's gone through the same thing, but it's just further along the line.
Right.
So they put them in touch with each other, and so they're kind of like each other's rocks.
Wow.
So it really is a worthwhile charity, and like you said, we were all born in Kingston Hospital, so it's a real nice,
full circle.
Story.
Wow.
And so I have a big affection for Momentum, and it's it's really nice to kind of see what the amazing work they do, the money we raise.
Also, didn't Momentum build the playground in Kingston Hospital?
Yeah, so
that's the Momentum playground, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I feel like that was there when I.
No.
The rooms so that they look much more child friendly.
Yeah. I mean, I've been very blessed in my life. I haven't spent much time in hospital other than having my wisdom teeth taken out and my nose done. But I can only imagine how sort of miserable it must be in those kind of cream rooms.
Yeah, because Momentum was born I forget the lady's name now, but she was a receptionist at Kingston Hospital. Right. But she found most of her time not being a receptionist, being in the child's cancer ward.
Sure.
And there's a brilliant picture on their website of what it looked like when she started.
To what it looks like now.
To what it looks like now. I was talking to Phoebe about it, and I said, how much of a difference does it make? And she says it's massive.
It must be massive, because hospitals are scary enough places as it is.
Yeah.
Doctors in their white lab coats. It's quite a sort of clinical place. Well, obviously it's a clinical place. It's a hospital, but like we've experienced it when we travel around the world and go to different children's hospitals, and some of them are beautifully decorated and it feels like a really welcoming place to be, and some of them are so kind of depressing to be in there. So I think Momentum definitely is a charity that we will continue to support.
But the Empowerment Bank came to visit you on Cherry, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. The Empowerment Plan. It wasn't actually the Empowerment Plan though, was it? It was like a sort of...
No, it was. It was the people that set up the Empowerment Plan.
Was it? I don't think it was.
It's someone that...
they work with a local charity in...
Are supported by the Empowerment Plan. They work with homeless people in that particular area.
Yeah, we felt compelled to reach out to them because obviously while shooting Cherry, we were shooting in, some of the poorer neighbourhoods in Cleveland, and we were kind of in and amongst homelessness everywhere. And obviously at that time of year when we were filming, it was absolutely freezing. And the Empowerment Plan is a charity that we support in Detroit. They basically... employ homeless people to make these coats that double up as sleeping bags.
Yeah.
I have actually slept in one at my house because it was so cold in my house, and they're amazing. Really? Greg Townley, my stunt double, once we had a party and everyone left, and in the morning I came downstairs and Greg had stayed and he was sleeping in my kitchen in one of the coats.
I love that. He gets the coat, he's like, this thing's great.
This is amazing.
I can't get on.
But anyway, so we reached out to them and they drove down to us with, I think they had about 200 coats, and they drove around Cleveland and other areas in Ohio, handing out the coats to people that really needed them.
Because I've seen Cherry, and I noticed that your wardrobe is quite scarce. You're in a lot of t-shirts and thin clothes. So I'm sure you used them in between takes.
Mate, one of the hardest scenes to shoot in that film was the boot camp scene.
Yeah, that was
because those clothes are supposed to be like desert attire.
Right.
They're supposed to be.
Is it freezing?
Well, mate, we came into work in the morning and there was like 4 inches of snow. And obviously the DOP and the directors are like, this is a godsend, this is amazing, aesthetically this looks beautiful.
Right.
But then you had me and 300 extras standing there trying to look like soldiers. The John Foundation was set up by a doctor, and it started off by him adopting 2 girls, right?
Taking in two
girls, and basically what he does now is he helps girls get out of the sex trafficking industry, and he teaches them skills like textiles and cosmetics and stuff like that, and retrains them to try and, I guess, reinstitute them into society with skills that they can then sell as a seamstress or...
Yeah, because they made our Brothers Trust t-shirts.
Yeah.
So we pay them to make the t-shirts, and then all the profits went to Deborah, which is another charity we support.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
Do you have any favourite events that we've done?
I loved going to LA for the Far From Home premiere. And we had Kieran and Olivia there. They were our winners of that competition, and they were really lovely. We had a great time, and to see them, because obviously I've been to a few premieres, so you've probably been to more. But to see them go through it for the first time was really nice, and what a way to do your first premiere for like.
Yeah, that was a pretty epic premiere. Yeah, as far as premieres go, I think that's probably the biggest one I've ever been to. I missed the Avengers one.
Yeah.
For reasons that we will not speak about.
But you went to Kenya before Tom and I.
Before you guys went.
And you made an amazing documentary.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, I knew what the charity was about, but like I didn't really know. I guess I went out there. I didn't really know how I was gonna. I think documentaries are hard because you don't really know how you're gonna tell the story. You just get a lot of footage.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went into the slum with no particular idea of the narrative, and I just kind of got as much footage as I could. And then whilst I was there and learning from Sally and her family of how the charities run, the great things they do, it became apparent how it would come together. And it's an incredible charity, you know, like these are the poorest children in the world, and it's saddening to see where they live, but it's very uplifting to see what Lunch Bowl provides them during the day of school and the dinner. So it's quite a fascinating contrast to see, you know, they go to these beautiful schools, and and I mean, I guess a goal of the Brothers Trust and Lunch Bowl would be for these kids to be able to go to school till they're 18, and it's something we're working towards. But the fact that we can kind of educate these kids even a little bit is fantastic. And
I think more so than the education is the freedom and the hours of the day spent away from Kibera, also the meals they get during the day. The thing that I was so touched about when we finally were able to go out there was seeing like the immediate impact that the generous donations of the general public make. And there isn't a penny that is spent on anything other than putting smiles on faces. And we walked through Kibera first, and then we walked through the primary school, and I could not believe the juxtaposition between the two environments, and the happy kids. And when we saw the little kids dressed up as Spider-Man and learning their ABCs and learning...
There's quadruplets.
In
the nursery. And I was talking to James, he said, did you see the quads? And they're the cutest kids
Super
ever.
Cute little kids.
And, you know, you're right with the juxtaposition between how awful it is in the Kibera to, you know, we're talking about momentum and how nice it is in the cancer ward. This school is amazing. It just looks like any old nursery.
I think what would be an amazing achievement and a huge goal would be to try and set up further education to 18, but also, if it was at all possible, to set up some sort of boarding school. So that the kids weren't... Because we obviously, one of the big things that the Brothers Trust did is we bought the 2 school buses. Which, 60 kids per bus? So there's 120 kids a day that are able to leave the slum, go to this kind of safe haven that is Lunch Bowl.
Because we took
it's not Lunch Bowl, is it?
So they've got the kindergarten, which is at the edge of Kibera, which is called the Angel Kindergarten, which goes up until about 5, and then she's got the school, which is called the Good Samaritan, which takes them from 5 to 14.
Right.
Because it was really nice. I remember seeing the buses for the first time, and we took them on their first school trip to the elephant sanctuary. And the kids loved it, didn't they?
But that was what's amazing about it, is that you forget how blessed you are that I know what an elephant is. I knew what an elephant was when I was a kid because I saw them on telly. We were lucky enough to go and see them as adults. These poor kids, they didn't even know what an elephant was. And it's right in their back garden. So I guess the beauty of what the Angel Kindergarten can do and the Good Samaritan School will do is educate them about the beautiful land that they live in.
Yeah.
And hopefully brighten their future in any way possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think as far as events go, my favourite events that we do are the screenings.
Right.
Because premieres for me are stressful, and yeah, they're fun for the lucky fans that win, that get to go. It's a very kind of unique experience. But for me, I'm being pushed and pulled in all directions, and I there's no secret, I hate premieres. I find them so unbelievably
I guess you're
overwhelming.
working, aren't you?
Yeah, it's to the general public, it looks like the most fun day ever.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like counting down the hours before the film's finish, and I can finally sit down and relax.
Yeah.
But the screenings that we do, I really enjoy because they're really tactile, and we get to meet the fans and really meet the people that want to be there and help the charities. And you know, we have friends that we have from Deborah come, and it's nice to see them again. So they would be my favourite events that we do.
Because the last screening we did was for Spies in Disguise.
Yeah, we did that.
And it's always nice because we always have loads of family friends coming to help. So it's almost like a reunion, and then on top we do a charity event.
I really liked, what's his name? Eric, that came to visit set.
Yeah.
Because he came to set on the day we were filming Jake's death scene. And it was like
the biggest spoiler of the movie.
It was so secretive.
I thought it was an Endgame spoiler, because obviously you shot it before Endgame came out.
No.
It was Jake's death scene.
Yeah, the day he came to set.
It was the day that Jake tries to kill me, and then I take the glasses off of him, and literally every spoiler in the film was being shot in one scene.
On a bridge.
And that was the day that he came to set, and just by...
Because they changed it like the day before, didn't they?
Yeah, because of the weather.
Yeah, we had weather cover. It was honestly like... You know, like guiding him around the studio, like, oh, don't look over there.
Yeah.
Look at Venice.
But we were lucky because obviously, with those films, when they build the sets, they keep them up.
Right.
And the Venice set was massively impressive. And Eric Carroll, who was our producer at the time, was kind enough to sort of take Eric around and give him a kind of brief outline of what the film was about and give him some inside information as to what we were doing. But it was just unfortunate that the most exciting part of the film that anyone would have loved to have seen was there, but like you weren't even.
He came back the next day, didn't he?
He came back the next day.
And saw some.
But you weren't even allowed to be on set that day.
No, we were all outside.
It was a proper closed set.
Really?
There's only two times you have a closed set: for a sex scene, or for spoilers.
Maybe, but he was staying at the Savoy Hotel though.
Nice.
Like there was more of a package than just going to see the set.
Oh, he had a...
Set designer here needs sacking.
He had a great time. He had a great time, and he was such a nice guy. And
he'd also never been out of America.
No, and he honestly didn't seem that fazed.
But he was a big Harry Potter fan. So he went to go to Harry Potter World.
Those students, that's such a sick day out.
Should we get the glue gun?
No, we don't have any.
Oh, it's come off again.
Yeah, we've got it.
No, just go and get me some tape. Right.
I've got the figures from Tim about how much we've raised.
We've got the figures, guys. Figures just in. Any guesses?
It's like Graham Norton when he's like, "Oh, Tom Cruise is here."
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't guess.
We don't want to overguess.
Don't guess. Don't guess. Don't guess.
No. I'm gonna guess $400.
I'm gonna guess 900 grand.
$900,000.
No, it's more than that. It's definitely.
Okay, so
more
Sam's
than
going $900,000. What are you going with?
I'm gonna say in between $1 million and 1.5 million.
You got to be more specific than that. You can't.
Well, I mean, I
think
that's.
So let's say Tom's 1250.
I'm going to say $1.109 million.
That's very specific. Watch me. It's 1.1.
Have it in pounds, please.
Pounds. Yeah.
Well, the conversion rate is 0.7.
Mr. Maths over here.
Yeah, we're going into maths lesson later. £910,000.
What we've raised or given out?
We've
raised.
Okay. So, John.
Go on, give us the number.
Okay, so we've raised over £1.4 million.
Oh my god!
And we've given out
fist bumps.
more than $1 million, over £1 million.
Oh wow! I got my conversion rate a little bit wrong. 2020.
2020.
What a shitter.
Yeah, not the best.
So when lockdown came around, for the charity, it obviously was not. It became trickier for us to work out ways to raise money, and we did the pub quiz.
Yeah,
because we love pub quizzes.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of the pub quiz.
We seem
two-time champions.
We do so well in the pub quiz in real life at the pub.
It's because people underestimate us as well. We come in and people think, oh, these kids will never win. And
Right.
we win quite regularly.
I think we dovetail quite well.
We dovetail really well.
We're also very good at guessing and Googling.
Yes,
There's
very
nothing-
good at cheating.
There's nothing worse though when you're saying like, guys, I know it's Zimbabwe, it's Zimbabwe,
Oh,
and then it
yeah.
comes around, it's like it is
Argentina!
Sorry guys, my bad.
Yeah, honestly.
But was that the Marvel one you did on your Instagram live? Was that the Marvel quiz?
We've done 3 quizzes.
Yeah.
We did one on my live, which was just
A spirit lifter.
a spirit lifter for the fans. A kind of like, let's all get together.
And then we did the Zoom ones.
We did the 2 Zoom ones.
Yes.
And it's interesting. I can learn my lines and deliver speeches fine. It doesn't bother me. I can do it in front of 100,000 people if you ask me.
Yeah.
But ask me to read something in front of 5 people out loud, I lose the ability to speak. So I just had to go through the questions and read them and read them and read them and read them because it was so stressful. And then doing the maths and being like, so you guys you got 10 points on that. You got 7 points now. You got 17 points.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was so good though.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Anthony Druitt made
He did the quiz.
the quiz, and it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did really well. He got all the numbers wrong though. Sometimes you.
But that was the second one. We did a Christmas one,
Yeah.
and then we did what? How long ago does that last Zoom quiz feel like?
Oh mate.
I was going to say it feels like it was last year, but it was last year. But I meant 2018, 2019.
But the last hang on, we're so
You were
good at
10,
maths.
Paddy.
The last Zoom quiz was a few weeks ago.
No, but
Yeah.
we did one. Remember with the nice English family who were on?
Yeah. A few
Yeah, that
weeks
was-
ago.
No. We did 2. We've done it twice.
Yeah, I know. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that one,
Yeah.
the first one was in like April time.
Wow.
And we raised quite a good amount of money. I mean, considering that we weren't able to do set visits or premieres.
They got cancelled, didn't they? We had some planned. But
They got
COVID
cancelled
came
because
in.
obviously this year I shot Uncharted and we're now shooting Spider-Man 3. We had 2 big films that people, especially the sets on Uncharted, were some of the coolest sets I've ever seen
Really?
in my career.
But I
but,
feel like at the start of lockdown, we weren't focused necessarily on raising money, just lifting people's spirits.
Sure.
Like we did the quiz on your Instagram.
Yeah.
We did the puzzle wars, which was good because the days got so long in lockdown.
We
didn't
did
they?
so well with the Puzzle Wars.
You beat us, didn't you?
We got so into it.
You.
We got so into it.
Yeah, we
We would like take shifts.
I'll do the night shift.
Yeah.
Seen it was like scoring a goal in the 90s.
Yeah.
Someone would get a
I
piece.
got a piece!
You know what I did when we were getting to the last few pieces?
Yeah.
Me and Paddy were doing it, and I took a piece, which would inevitably be the last piece, and I could see Paddy looking for a piece because he wanted to put the last one in.
I like those videos that people were doing online where someone was just about to finish a puzzle and they'd be filming it and then they'd just dash it at the
Oh
wall.
my god.
I'd
I love
kick off.
puzzles. Should we talk? I mean, I guess 2020 is over now. What are our goals, guys? Like, what are your goals or things you'd like to achieve in the near future in 5 years?
Well, I think our hands are still a little bit tied with COVID.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all hoping for a speedy recovery and that we can get back to normal as soon as possible. When we do get back to normal, we can start doing the things we used to do. We can have screenings, we can have set visits and premiere visits and all that sort of stuff. But until then, I think we'll just keep sort of tinkering away at smaller events to at least raise some money because, we have to remind ourselves that we've taken a hit, but also the charities have taken a hit because people aren't donating, because people aren't making any money at the moment. So we're very sensitive to ask the general public in this difficult time, will you give us money to help these charities? So there's other ways in which we can do that.
So obviously 2021 is going to be a year of healing. There's going to be lots of people that need help, and hopefully we can try our best to raise more money. And we want to create some special opportunities for people like we have done in the past with Eric and the girls that came to the Spider-Man Far From Home premiere, and hopefully when the world starts to reopen we're going to be able to do that. And we
have Uncharted premiere, that's in July. Hopefully, fingers crossed, by then we can start to raffle off some tickets and have a similar sort of event and give people a similar experience to the last one. Spider-Man comes out in December.
Yeah.
More likely that the world will be back in order by then. And, you know, hopefully that premiere will be somewhere exciting and we can fly someone across the world and show them a good time and spoil them a little bit.
We just don't know right now, but what I suppose we do know is that when it does get back to normality, we will be back to trying to create these experiences that you guys want to be involved in to help, you know, everyone around the world that's going to be, you know, needing the help in 2021.
That's a good soundbite.
That's what?
That's a good soundbite, that one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'd like to continue with what we're doing, even with the struggles of COVID.
Yeah.
Continue to raise money that isn't putting pressure on the general public, because we know that it's a difficult time for everyone right now. So just continue with what we're doing and hopefully try and raise as much money as we can to help charities that need the support and the exposure that we can give them.
Yeah. I know we're looking into it, to start supporting
I thought you were going to tell a joke just by your face.
No. I want to start supporting a mental health charity.
Yes.
Because
that's a good goal.
I think, especially in the current climate of the world, mental health is going to be so. There's going to be so many people suffering with, struggling with their mental health, and that's something that I would like to get behind as someone who's struggled with mental health in the past.
Yeah.
That's something. That's a short-term goal because we can do that. We can do that now, but there's something we're looking into. I'd love to make another documentary about a mental health charity. I think it's something that's not spoken about enough. And we're very privileged that we, as young people, are in a position where we can not only decide the charities we want to support, but shine light on these kind of issues that I don't think are spoken about enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always this won't happen in 2021, but Mum and I were thinking of doing like a restaurant night where all the brothers are in the kitchen, and then we have we put on a meal for people raffling. I can tell you don't want to do it.
That'd be a great event. What's an event idea you'd like to do?
I mean, I think that would be just so much fun for me and
for you.
Yeah, and then you'd just be shouting at us.
Wow.
You'd be like, "Who cooked this fish?"
Yeah,
like Harry did.
Have you tasted that?
Yeah,
it's rubbery.
Have you tasted that? No, I don't like God.
No, one thing I would like to do this year, if it is open, is I would like to run the marathon.
Would you?
Yeah.
I would like to run the marathon for the Brothers Trust. I'd like to. I don't know how quick I would like to do it in, but I would like to set myself a goal that would mean I'd have to really work hard.
Yeah, that's.
And then I would feel like I would have earned the donations. Towards Brothers Trust. But I mean, the London Marathon is in March. I would want to run the London Marathon more than anyone. I imagine they'll probably push it back. I don't think they'll do it in March.
I don't think it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I would like to do this year, if it's possible.
But the thing
is,
it's
one of those things where they'll be like, there will be no marathon this year, and I'm like, oh man, I was really looking forward to that.
2022 maybe.
I'm gonna do it. I'm definitely gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be I think you could easily do it.
I think Jenny had a good idea. One of our volunteers had a good idea. You could raffle off the opportunity to design what I would wear
in the marathon. Wow.
Chainmail.
Someone comes back with a Bruno Mankini or something.
Oh, I would pay to see you run the marathon in a Mankini.
A lot of people would pay.
That's a good idea. Well, I think I like your event.
Oh, do you?
That's a great idea, yeah.
Yeah. Do something simple so you guys could do it. I'll be on the pass shouting.
Yeah, Chef. Paddy could be the waiter.
Yeah. Well,
Paddy could be the dishwasher.
Pot washer.
Yeah.
He hasn't got much practice though.
No. I'd like to do an event. Again, I don't know how much money it would raise, but where I raffle off a photo shoot and say to someone I'll take you on a photo shoot for the day.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Around London.
But the thing is, the charity's not all about doing big prizes like set visits and premieres.
I think it's just about it's not just creating fun experiences for the people that win. It's also creating experiences that we'll enjoy. And as we have all of the ones we've done so far, meeting Eric and
Yeah.
And the events we've done, we enjoy them as much as the people that win. And I think
because you like seeing people have a good time.
Oh yeah. It's
Also, the
amazing.
Brothers Trust is this idea that we're a family, and we're a family that's constantly growing.
Yeah.
You know, we're always looking for new people to help support, and we're always looking for new people to help support us. And you know, when we see Eric have a lovely time, we feel like we've achieved something, and we've added a new member to the Brothers Trust family.
Yeah,
and we'll always remember them, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And off the back of Eric having a great time, you know, it's helping whoever we want it to in terms of
it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
it's definitely a win-win. Yeah.